Actually, I'm here to talk about the police chief's selection process and our next step. As you know, we solicited applications, did a national search for a police chief. We received 62 applications from very qualified candidates, narrowed that field down to 7 semifinalists, and then engaged our Citizen Advisory Committee to review the semifinalists and to interview those candidates, and then to help me make a decision on who the finalists will be and who we'll bring to town. And today I'm announcing that we're down to 2 finalists, very qualified candidates. I'm excited about both of these individuals. They have extensive backgrounds in law enforcement and were the consensus selection by the Citizens Advisory Committee. The 2 finalists are Mr. Gordon Ramsay, he's the Chief of Police in Duluth, Minnesota, and Jeffrey Spivey, he's the Assistant Chief of Police in Irving, Texas. Both have a tremendous amount of experience in law enforcement. They have both worked with body-worn camera policies and implementation, intelligence-based policing, extensive work in community policing, and also have both been involved in strategic planning inside a police department. In terms of Chief Ramsay, he has been the Chief of Police in Duluth since 2006. He has over 22 years of experience in law enforcement. He worked with a number of community groups to create Duluth's first police civilian review board. Under his leadership, the department has received 2 community policing awards in 2012 and 2013 from the Association of Chiefs of Police. He has a master's degree in management, a bachelor's degree in criminology and sociology, and he's a graduate of the FBI Academy. Chief Spivey, he has been in charge of, actually he's been in his position since 2011, has over 28 years of service in law enforcement, has been in charge of field operations and administrative services for the police department in Irving. He's led a number of technology initiatives inside the department, including the purchase of software for predictive policing. He developed and currently teaches a program designed to reshape the culture of law enforcement in Irving, and also played a key role in developing a nationally recognized law and public service curriculum for the local school district. He has a bachelor's degree in applied arts and sciences, and a master's degree in criminal justice leadership and management. He too is a graduate of the FBI Academy. As I said, I'm excited about both of these candidates. They will be in town on December 14th and 15th for interviews. They will interview with a number of stakeholder groups, as well as attend a public forum which will be held at Century 2 on the evening of the 14th, starting at 6 p.m. going to 8:30 p.m. We will follow the same process that we did previously for the forum, in that I will serve as a moderator and will ask questions that are submitted by the community in advance, and then we'll allow some time for the candidates to take questions from members of the audience at the forums. Ken, we will receive questions, help me, from
Wichita.gov.
Wichita.gov
and Activate Wichita.
And Activate Wichita. So residents can use both of those forums in order to submit questions, and as I said, I will try to then take those questions and develop a consistent list for each of the candidates. So with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions you have regarding the process or the candidates.
Can you spell both names and relist the...
Sure. Now we do have a press release. Do we have a copy?
Yes.
Their ages, please.
I do not have their ages. I apologize. Age is not relevant. Experience is, though, however. And as I said, both of these have over 20 years of experience in law enforcement.
Can you speak to this step in the process after sort of our first attempt narrowing it down to find a chief, and then when we restarted the process, kind of how has the second round gone?
Sure. The second round has gone very well. We had double the number of candidates this time than the first round. Again, we used the assessment that was performed by Wichita State University to serve as our guideline for the review of candidates. And we look for strengths in their backgrounds that would match our needs as expressed in the WSU assessment. So I feel very confident that the areas that were identified as key priorities in the assessment could be addressed by both of these individuals based on my time in initial interview as well as review of their backgrounds.
Were these two candidates involved in the first process?
No, neither was.
How has this second process been different than the first round?
Well, in terms of we've had a deeper candidate pool. We've had maybe even a little more diversity in the pool. We've received applications from all over the country. But other than that, the process has remained the same. The review process with the consultants as well as the Citizens Advisory Committee we've followed the exact same process.
And how much has this search costed compared to the first round?
This is all part of that same contract.
Which is how much?
I'm sorry, I don't remember the dollar amount offhand.
$36,000.
36,000.
You talked a little bit about both of their experiences with body-worn cameras, different policing measures. How important do you think that type of experience is for our police department on this kind of new wave of this new era?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's what we were looking for. Is we were looking for candidates that could talk in an articulate and intelligent manner about the issues that are currently facing police departments around the country, and specifically the issues that were identified in the assessment. And because of their backgrounds, I think you're going to find that they match up very well in those key areas, whether it's implementation of body-worn cameras, whether it's issues of transparency, issues dealing with communication in the community and community policing. All of those are important, and again, strong areas for both of these candidates.
So for both of these, how long have you been in communication with both of them? Is it a recent, start of the talks with them, or was it right off when you opened up the search again?
No, they submitted applications. The deadline for applications was the end of November, and then our consultants have been working with them since that period of time. And then last week was the time that I got more actively involved along with the Citizens Committee.
When do you expect to pick a candidate, Chief?
Still, my goal is to have a chief announced by the end of the year.
Has this been the longest the Wichita Police Department has been without a chief?
Yeah, I want to clarify that issue because I continue to hear that. We have a strong management team and a strong interim chief at this point, and we have never been without leadership during this interim period of time. It has taken us a longer time to fill this position than probably in previous years when we were filling a police chief position. But as I mentioned several times during this process, we need to get the right person here in Wichita who can address the issues that are of concern to our employees, those inside of the department, as well as our residents. And that's all been articulated, I think, very well in the WSU assessment. And that's why I have worked as hard as I have in order to get the right candidate pool and to get the right people here that can talk about those important community issues.
Again, these two were not applicants in the first round?
That's correct. Well, I urge everyone to take advantage of the opportunity to meet the candidates on the 14th and to submit questions. And if someone can't be there, but they still want a question to ask, please, again, use the two approaches that we have in terms of wichita.gov as well as Activate Wichita. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend.